Right, but enough of that. It's been a couple beautiful weeks in the city. I got with the boys to slam some dominoes at the beach, and it had me thinking back to '94, listening to the one-hit wonder of an artist, the Diggity Domino. Domino's a West Coast artist who hit the scene with the summer anthem Ghetto Jam. Look, I was a huge West Coast fan at the time, as I've mentioned before, and this was one of the most laid-back hip-hop tracks of the '90s, in my opinion. Domino's flow resembles Warren G's G-Funk style, or the Dove Shot. The album was produced by DJ Battlecat, who in his own right is an underrated West Coast producer. Now, before we continue, I want my listeners to keep in mind that I'm just doing these hip-hop appreciate segments strictly out of memory. These are the moments that I've lived. I often reminisce or maybe come across something that makes me want to revisit an album. I don't go do research on the artist or anything of that nature.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'm just sharing my thoughts so that if you've never heard of it, or if you have time to go back to some 90s hip-hop, you have some suggestions. This album is an easy listen because Domino raps slow as shit. And although this album is basically him talking about his weekend in the hood, I love it. I love the music that just sets a mood. Sometimes that's all that's required for the moment. This could easily have been a soundtrack to the Menace to Society movie. And after revisiting the album on one of my walks, I thought at first that I would only like 3 to 5 songs, but damn, the album bangs. The album has 10 tracks in total, and I had a hard time figuring out my top 3. The album plays real smoothly, so Battlecat, again, hats off to you. Now, some of the dope tracks was AFD, Raincoat, and That's Real. I also really like Money Is Everything because, well, you know, it's money talk. My least favorite track was Jam. It was just alright, you know, so I skipped it. But I'm a ladies' man, so my top 3 had to be the Macadocious shit on this project. Number 3 is Do You Qualify? The track is just so smooth. Talking about checking out ID before getting involved with these young things. I don't know how the fuck R. Kelly missed this song. And it's my favorite beat on the album as well, so, you know, it has to get the number 3 slot. Number 2, arguably could have been number 1. Sweet Potato Pie. Just because once I figured out what the Sweet Potato Pie was about back then, how can I not love this song? And number 1 is the song that I mentioned at the beginning. It remains Ghetto Jam. You can't help but kick back, let it spliff, and enjoy this track on a hot summer day. And if you're cruising in a whip on your way to a spot that's happening, this is the track for you. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't kept up with Domino since this album. That's why I jokingly called him a one-hit wonder earlier, but I'm sure he has a lot more shit. I just didn't listen to it. But maybe one of these days I'll take some time and check out some other projects. But as for this, Domino, the album, I give it a B. And that's good for a joint in Orion Ginger, baby.